Good afternoon, everyone. It's May 19th, and this is episode 2 of the newly named No Limits with Mike and Stace. So we finally came up with a name for our podcast. No Limits, meaning we'll talk about anything we want. We don't give a shit what it is.
No limits.
Exactly. So, sitting outside today, so hopefully birds aren't too noisy and pick up a lot of background interference. It's our first time sitting outside. I'm doing this, so we'll see. We'll see. But
yeah.
Also got a nice cold beer. So there's that.
Yeah. Good day. It's a good day.
So for today, we decided we're going to discuss kind of a different spin on the speech, we'll call it. That Kansas City Chiefs player Buckner, I think his name is. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe he's a kicker. I'm not 100% sure. But we listened to a speech a few days ago, and my opinion is that's his opinion.
Yeah.
Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. So, that's his.
Truth.
The thing that I don't understand it's 2024 and we are still allowing these athletes, and we'll lump celebrities into this as well, because
influence
to rent space in our heads. And I don't get it. I don't understand. Everyone's all in an uproar about what he said.
And those are his beliefs. That's his life.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with it.
No.
If, that's how people choose to live, that's their business. It literally does not affect us in any way, shape, or form in our day-to-day lives.
Right.
So he's entirely free and entitled to say that, whatever he wants. That's his opinion.
Yeah.
And he has the platform. He's allowed to speak his opinion.
Yep. And if somebody else, has that same platform and wants to say the exact opposite, they can.
They can.
The thing is, I don't care.
No.
I don't care what he says.
He says it, we're moving on. We listened to it. I felt like he spoke very eloquently. I feel like I felt like it was a good speech. People like to pick apart things and, blow things up into proportion, or I should say out of proportion, and, make TikToks about it. And, you don't have to live like that. He's not telling you have to live like that.
Right.
You do you, friend.
Yeah. Yeah. And you may think, well, isn't he renting space in your head right now? No. We purposely did not discuss the speech afterwards because we knew that we wanted to,
discuss it for you guys.
Talk about it here.
Yeah.
But I really don't care what he says. It affects me in no way whatsoever.
No.
But I think it's a huge problem that we allow these people to rent the space in our heads to the point where, people feel a need to go out and, protest what one person says, and celebrities, get canceled because of, something they say.
And so essentially now we have to walk on eggshells for that very few, the very few people that are going to go and blow it up. So we all have to walk on eggshells. I call bullshit. I don't care if I offend you. Moving on.
Right. It makes no sense.
No. And honestly, their personal lives, now he of course had the platform to go up and say what he said. Most people don't have that.
And he was invited.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, I lost my track.
I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. That does tend to happen. But what these people do in their personal lives it's not our business. Like how they choose to live their lives has no effect on us whatsoever.
Right.
Or it shouldn't.
Right.
But too many people give those type of people that kind of power.
Yeah. If you want to, you're an athlete, you're a young kid and you want to idolize, certain, athletes for, how they play on the field. Cool. That's great.
Sure.
But don't allow them to rent that mental space in your head. Why are you giving anybody that power?
Right.
I mean, if somebody wants to talk about me from years ago, I'm going to chuckle.
Right.
Because I'm like, man, you gave me that power after a couple of years that you're still thinking about me. That's freaking great. I find that, humorous.
Hilarious. For sure.
So that's the way I look at it. So,
Yeah.
I wish more people would look at it that way, because you shouldn't be giving people that power.
Unfortunately, unfortunately, most people do.
Yeah.
Do give others that much power.
Yep.
I just got to think about it. Like, if you want to think about it, think about what he said or what others said, then close it up and move on. We should be learning from these things. And the fact that others do have different points of views and see things differently, you should most definitely take that as a learning tool. Learn from it. And if you don't agree with it, but that's okay. But now you've just learned how he lives, and that's how some people live, and that's okay. He's not up there saying that we all have to live like that.
Right. And people, I think a lot of people don't know how to react anymore.
No.
So, somebody says something that they don't like, and they immediately just, fly off the handle. Look, you have a voice.
Yeah. That's the thing.
If you want to have your voice heard, that's fine.
Right.
But you don't need, fly off the handle and, then start bashing the kid. Why?
Right.
What's the point?
And the media picked it apart and only played bits and pieces that they wanted us to hear, and then they spun it how they wanted it to look. Because we went back and listened to the entire, 20 minutes?
I think it was 23 minutes. 23
minutes. And the news and, some of the videos that I've seen were like 2 minutes. Dude, you literally just took 2 minutes, pieced together what you wanted to, how you wanted to portray it out of a 23-minute speech.
I thought the whole speech was 3 minutes and 24 seconds, because when I YouTubed it the other day, that's what kept coming up. There was 2 minutes and 34 seconds and 3 minutes and 24. And I was like, oh, okay, so it's got to be the longer one. Kept scrolling. Ah, there's the
whole thing.
So the 324 to 234, that was all what was on the news. And you're right. Little snippets.
And I also feel like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I also feel like people were going off of just what they're hearing on the media.
Yes.
If it's really triggering you that much, go listen to the whole thing. It's taken out of context what they're having you hear.
I feel like it's like reality TV.
Yeah.
Reality TV. So we watched Survivor, a bunch of seasons of Survivor. They're out there for 39 days? Is it 39 or 29?
I think it's 39.
39 days.
Yep.
And it's 15 episodes, an hour and a half long.
Yeah.
They're out there 24 hours a day for 39 days.
And so many things I'm sure happened during that time that we don't see.
Right. But they spin, the characters.
They make each person a character person, for sure.
And they spin the narrative that they want. I don't know if it's their first impression of it, but they spin it.
Or how it's going to make better TV. You know.
Yep. Yep. And that's what they're doing, you know. And this kid's not the only one that, you know, makes speeches and, you know, then you hear on the news, you know, 30 seconds of it. And,
right.
You know, they do spin it, you know, and
honestly, most of the time it's just like, who cares? We listen to it and it's like, you know, it's even just on in the background. We don't even listen to it. But this seemed to be triggering for quite a few people.
This is the first one that I went back and we actually listened to the whole thing.
The whole thing.
All the other things that people have talked about, you know, people saying and all that. I don't go back and listen to the whole thing. But this one, yeah, people were all in an uproar.
Oh my God.
How can he say these things?
Yeah.
I do think that, you know, in my opinion, the one part that jumped out at me the most was when he made some reference to don't let the cost of living affect where you move. It should be the where you're, you know, closer to community and church or whatever he said. And that's easy for him to say when, you know, he's making the paycheck that he's making.
He is, but I think what a lot of people also don't take into consideration is what is he, mid-20s? He's a young kid.
Yeah.
This is the money that he's been making. So he's a professional ball player. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not like he started somewhere at the bottom, worked his way up. And even if he did, even at the bottom of this, they still make a lot of money. Far more than average people. So I think comments when they're made like that by people in that position, it's not meant, it's just not really thought through, I don't think.
Yeah, and I think I heard that the NFL, you know, they're trying to distance themselves from him and all of that.
Right away they came out and said that we don't agree, you know, those are his own personal beliefs. Like, this isn't, you know, he's not speaking for the NFL.
Yeah, so now, I mean, is anybody in the NFL not allowed to
have an opinion? No, they're not.
They can voice?
They're not allowed to be Christian. They're not allowed to have an opinion because God forbid we offend anybody. Oh my God. Because you want to know something? I'm offended. But does it matter? No, because I'm not going to protest. I'm not going to go, you know, run my mouth somewhere. I'm just going to move forward because in a week it's going to be something new and we're going to be talking about that.
Yes.
But I feel like majority of us we do get upset and, quotes, offended. But you learn to just deal with it and move forward. My God.
Well, it comes back to social media. You know, back in the day when there wasn't, you know, social media, you know, and somebody said something that upset you, you had to learn how to cope with it. But now, you're just like, you know, typing
away,
doing TikToks, doing
keyboard warriors,
X tweets or whatever the hell they're called.
Let me just also clarify that I am not in any way, shape, or form offended by this kid's speech. I am just offended because people, you know.
Yeah, I'm not offended by it. I mean, his opinion, like we said, you know, however many minutes ago, has zero impact
on us,
on my day-to-day life
whatsoever.
I don't care what he says.
And he is graduating from, correct me if I'm wrong, please, but is that not a Christian college? So, I mean,
I know it's Catholic.
Okay, so
he's
Catholic.
Very, very,
okay. But I mean, still God-based and whatnot.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. And that, you know, that's his beliefs.
There were a lot of people there clapping.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you know, so.
And I don't necessarily want to pick apart the speech because I do have certain types of feelings about it. Being a previous stay-at-home mom, who now does work full time with a career. I do, and we're going to save that for another time.
Yeah. I don't even remember most of his speech. That's how much,
Well, the part that mostly is, everybody's, all worked up about is the fact that he spoke to the women of the crowd.
Oh, didn't he say something about it? His wife didn't feel like, something until, she became a mom
and a wife. Like yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's his wife.
Yeah. Well, I have very, very strong feelings and opinions regarding being a stay-at-home mom, but we would be sitting here for an hour if we discussed that. So, and, wouldn't want to offend anybody right off the bat. I mean, good God.
Yeah. We'll give it an episode or two.
Yeah.
For that.
For sure.
Wait, this is too. Oh, crap. I think we lost our dog.
Uh-oh. He's going to be down there somewhere.
Yep. Okay, so we found our dog. He's
all is well.
He's back up on the deck with us now, so we're going to go pay him a little bit of attention. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up. We just wanted to, get out there and talk a little bit about speech. Maybe next week there'll be a new speech that we can talk about. Pique our interest enough to actually go back and listen to it.
No doubt.
Or something else. But like I said, No Limits with Mike and Stace sounding off for the evening.
Yep. Everyone have a great week.
Bye, guys.